Hi, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via and Kathy and the rest of the gang. And we're going to start with static rest, 7 minutes on your back, watching your breath. Try to have your knees and your hips at a 90-degree angle, but also try to create a neutral position for the pelvis so that you actually feel a sort of a relaxation at the hip flexor, at the hip flexors. I'm going to try to do this too. Stay here. Just move your head from right to left, cervical rotation. Just slowly look right, look left. When you've done about 6, go ahead and make a figure 8 with your nose. And then reverse your direction. Come back to center. Vagus nerve reset. Look all the way to the right with your eyeballs only, nothing else is moving. And wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Shift your eyeballs only to the left. And again, wait. Come back, repeat this. Two more sets, right, left, right, left. I was reading that everybody's talking about vagus nerve nowadays, and I was reading that some people call this the love nerve. It releases, one of the things it does is release, when you reset the vagus nerve, it releases our sense of oneness, empathy, and compassion for each other. There are lots of ways to release the vagus nerve. Any yoga practice will move you toward that. But this is the quickest way I know how. Whenever you're finished, we're going to do the head ramping. So find something to put under your occipital ridge. It could be the towels. It could be a therapy ball, set of therapy balls. It could be your interlaced fingers with your elbows bent. It could be a sponge ball. And then whatever you've set, however you set yourself up, just press the occipital ridge back. Back towards the floor so that the chin drops and the occipital ridge moves away from your shoulders. And then just hold that for a few seconds and then release it and do this 6 more times. And I wanted, when you're finished, I want to do a hypopressive, and I'll tell you, you don't have to move. We're not going to take a shape, a hypopressive shape. We're just going to be here, lying on your back and taking 3 breaths and then holding the breath out for the count of 15. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more, inhale and exhale. All the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. I'm going to count to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Release. This is just to share with you a theory that I have that you could do do this hypopressive breathing any place. You know, you have to be static, you have to be still, but any shape you're in. Okay, let's come up to standing. We're going to have the therapy ball or the neuro ball and do some footwork. So you want to be near a wall or a something that you need to touch, you could touch if you needed to. You should have not have any socks on, or preferably no socks, no shoes. And we're going to start with the right foot.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why does Kathy put that thing on the floor?
Because I have rugs.
Oh, you need a firm surface.
Yeah, I don't have
Oh.
a floor. I have rugs, so I need it. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to time for 40 seconds. So starting at point 1, which is at the top, just under the metatarsal mound. Just pressing, putting your body weight here. Remember, you could do, if you can't stand up for this long, you could sit on a chair. Just stand as tall as you can. You may even want to try to think of pulling your shoulder blades together to open your chest to help you avoid thinking you have to go down and look at your feet. You don't have to look at your feet. Okay. Second position in the middle of the foot. Feeling a little bit of gratitude towards our feet and the nerve endings in the feet and the way that we can stimulate them in this way to awaken them and They go all the way up to the brain and wake up the brain as well. Grateful to Naboso neuroballs. Third position, down towards in front of the calcaneus. It's like you're standing on, your ball was a high heel. If you don't have neuroballs yet, and you have therapy balls or tennis balls, you're still getting myofascial release. You're not getting the same sort of sensory stimulation of the nervous system, of the nerves. But it's still beneficial. Position number 4 is to the back up to the center, to the outside edge of the foot. Just find your place. It's going to be a little different for everybody. Then position number 5 is directly across the center of the foot towards the inside edge of the foot. Last one, right foot, just underneath the big toe mound. Boy, am I glad I'm doing this today.
I did this yesterday after my walk. It felt so good.
It's good to do this and the hands every day, at least once. Find a way to incorporate this habitude into your daily life. Okay. Walk around, maybe wiggle your feet, walk around. See if you can notice a difference between the right and the left. Boy, I can. The awareness is what will bring you back. The awareness of what happens when you do our moves, any of our moves, is what's going to keep you doing them. It's also it becomes a meditation then when you're aware of your movements. Starting with number 1, which is just under the metatarsal mound. Remember, if you want to, you can add on, stack by wiggling your toes or extending and flexing them, squeezing them and opening them. Okay, down, down just below that, middle of the foot. Thank your feet for all the years of helping you get where you want to go. Move down to number 3, position 3, which is just in front of the heel, the calcaneus. Number 4 is the outside, it's up, back up to the center of the foot and then to the outside edge of the center of the foot. And then go ahead across the foot to the inside edge of the foot. Last one, just below the big toe mound. Okay, you can go ahead and walk around again. I'm going to share the screen and this is today's, oops, this is not right. 9:14. That's the sideline. Hold on. I got to go somewhere else. Not, well, maybe we should. This is, give me a chance here. Let's see if I can find the real notes. Okay. I get it. Okay. All right, here I am. I want to say, so we're going to do lymphatic exercises with Danial Padmos. He's at Body Tuning in Manhattan, New York. And I've done this before with you. Actually, he's the only teacher I share my class with. I think that, well, let me say this before we start. I think that
so if you were part of
I think that lymphatic exercise is really important. And it's also known, I know that the lymph system does not drain itself by itself. You actually have to help it. So this is why I share this Daniel's class with you. I'm going to turn it on now. It's basically a standing practice.
our Facebook stream, you should be familiar already with what's going on. We'll start like usual, just bouncing, shaking up the body here. Okay. And just get the full body circulation going to start. So as we continue to shimmy and wake up the body, I'm just going to deliver some basic information about the lymphatic system and why we should pay more attention to it. Okay? Lymphatic system is the circulation for our immune system. It helps us carry pathogens to white blood cells and carry white blood cells to pathogens. It's where we trap incoming predatory invaders and then hopefully deal with them accordingly. So while there may be things online about boosting the immune system or things like that, that's not really what we're talking about today. Basically, the immune system functions just fine, but we can help it do its perfect job just a little bit faster. And that's about all we can hope for, okay? The idea that we're going to necessarily strengthen the immune system is a little bit of a misnomer. What we can do is help it digest a lot faster and process food faster. Just like when the organs in the stomach are nice and clean, we tend to digest our food more easily. When the lymphatic vessels are more clean, we tend to digest pathogens more easily. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on today. The other important concept to understand about the lymph is that it works off of mechanical pumping. So we can't rely on just the heart to pump the lymph. We need to use gentle movements and very gentle pressure to move the lymph in the body. Okay, as we start to develop some of the lymphatic massage techniques today, we want to avoid overpressing the body. So as I start to swipe on the arms, drawing the lymph up the body, right towards the armpit, I'm really trying not to squeeze the arm too hard. I want a brushing stroke. Okay, and you want to think about when you've seen horses getting brushed down, how nice it was, the sheen on their coat as the brush just goes through their short hair. And that's basically the sensation we want to get underneath the arms here. Just a light brushing as we drive through. Okay, so that's going to be our primary technique for moving the lymph is like light strokes. Okay. The other technique we're going to use is vibration by tapping. Okay. And we're going to use this to stimulate all the various lymphatic vessels in the body as we go through today's class. Okay. So let's continue brushing the arms so we get a light bounce in the knees, shimmying. Okay, we're going to really try to combine not only the light exercise cardio workout we're used to, but also now we're going to combine that with the lymphatic massage. We're really trying to hit all systems in the body at once. Again, nice and gentle, just brushing up the arms. Okay, let's do some of our tapping to go up and down the arm. Pressing that arm, pumping through here. And close attention to this area of the neck. This is where a large junction of lymph nodes come through. In fact, you may notice my swelling is looking pretty good. There's not too much puffiness here. But some people will have a big, round, puffy center right here. And that's what congestion in the lymphatic system looks like. So if we want to work on this area, we're going to use this easy pumping towards the heart and away, very gently massaging the area. We want to try to keep a 1-to-1 ratio using very, very light kind of pressure. You're just trying to get some movement through the tube each time, pumping in and out. You can try the same on this side. Right, lymphatic massage is starting to become more and more popular. Some people need it because they have lymph disorders, but more and more regular people are starting to realize the lymphatic massage makes them feel quite good, a little bit better than necessarily a deep tissue aggressive massage. Because when our immune system's feeling good and the lymph circulates well, we become less swollen, we feel lighter and more buoyant. So opening up all the lymph vessels is an easy way to improve the overall health of the body. Okay, so let's continue to warm up the body as we address the arms. A little bit more swings going on here. Easy light brushing now up the abdomen. Brushing up the legs. Good. Good. One of the other ways we can pump the lymph is by using contractions in the body. Even these basic bouncing movements will improve the lymph flow. But if we want to really try to target an area, we can use an isometric contraction or a tensing of the area to produce a pumping effect. So let's try to develop a full body pump in the next few minutes. Okay, we're just going to develop it slowly with a mindful exercise. Okay, bring yourself back to neutral. And let's start with the arms because they're the easiest to understand. So first we're just going to pump all the arms, making a big fist with the elbows, hands, and shoulders, and then release that. And we're going to try to keep that 1-to-1 ratio, right? Squeezing on, squeezing off, and relaxing. Squeezing on, squeezing off, relaxing. Squeezing on, squeezing off, relaxing. Okay, let's try the same thing in the legs now. Remember, you don't have to be so specific here. You just need to try to tense the muscles in your legs. You can make the feet hard, like you're making fists with the feet, and you can squeeze the knees, which will bring in the inner thigh muscles, and squeezing the hips. Try to make both legs like strong columns, gripping the ground and squeezing and releasing. Let's go again a few times through the legs. Squeezing the legs, gripping all the muscles you can, isometric contraction, and releasing. Okay, squeezing again, pumping the legs, and releasing. And squeezing again, pumping, and releasing. Okay, let's combine the arms and the legs together now. This is going to start to become taxing on the heart as we go. Okay, here we go, squeezing the hands and the legs, and releasing. Squeezing the hands and the legs, releasing. I like to give a little shake in between to release the muscles and also stimulate the flow of the lymph. Okay, here we go, pumping again, and releasing. Pumping again, and releasing. Okay, now let's address the central column of the lymph, what I would consider to be the most important aspect of the lymphatic system. So the vessels from the legs come up and join here into one massive lymphatic area coming up the center of the body, which then tips over and rejoins the venous return to the heart. Okay, so what we want to do is create the drawing up of the abdomen as we exhale, try to drive the lymph up the body. We're going to combine that with our full arm pumping. So we're going to breathe into the belly and breathe out, drawing the belly up. Okay, let's combine that with our movements. So we breathe in, contracting everything at once, and relaxing everything at once. Full body contraction, full body relaxing. That way we can turn our entire body into a giant pump. It's very important to understand you need to release the muscles and give time for the flow to refill. Just like if you squeeze out a bottle, you need to let go for it to refill with air before you can squeeze out some more. Okay, so let's continue this pumping. We'll try to get 10 or 15 in a row. Okay, here we go. Breathing in, relaxing. Breathing in, relaxing. Breathing in. Good, let's take a quick rest. I like to use the isometric contractions because they're very self-regulated. I can squeeze harder than you, or you can squeeze harder than me, depending on how you feel today. It also helps, isometric contractions also help build stability throughout each joint in the body. As you create those co-contractions around the joints, they become more stable and more fully engaged. If you notice one of your joints was particularly painful when you try to contract the shoulders, this means there's some kind of imbalance that will improve over time. Perhaps just use a weaker contraction at first and build up from there. Okay, let's try to develop some movement now. Hopping up and down a little bit, pumping the legs and the calves. Good. Take the light shimmy through the chest, and we're going to loosen up the back easy here. Okay, let's start to kick out the legs and develop a little bit more looseness for the lower body today. I try to keep my ankle loose so that it feels floppy like my wrist. It's easy for everyone to flop their wrist over. Can you do the same with your ankle? Kicking forward and then marching pattern. Good, beating across the upper chest, fairly lightly here, okay? Remember, we want to try to address the lymph today, so we're just going to tap lightly and try to jostle everything through the vessels. Great, we're going to combine my new favorite exercise, which we discovered spontaneously a few weeks ago. We're going to use this as a lymph maneuver, right? As we brush the upper arms coming through underneath, we get that same easy kind of horse brushing technique on the underside of the arms, sweeping into the chest and down towards the heart. Let's shake that out real quick. Now we'll pay a little bit of attention to the inner thighs, okay? So we want to draw the lymph up the body. We're just going to do this light clapping of the body. We're going to combine this with some breathing and stretching at the same time, okay? So you can use any chair for this, just find the height feels good. Okay, if you feel stretchy already, great, just keep trying to tap down. If you want to lean a little bit more in and out, good. Good. Notice how it was easier to stretch more deeply when you have that stimulation on the leg. You're less concerned about feeling the stretch, you're more concerned about keeping the body moving and feeling the sensations of the impact. Now let's see if we can reach all the way down to the calf, stroking upwards. Remember to think about the limit, not the stretch. Also more easily pump the body using the mechanical pumping of the muscle by flexing and extending the ankle in this position. Good. Let's quickly revisit the other side since we left out the ankle. Okay. If you can reach, good. If not, stick with the mechanical pumping. Okay. Pumping the ankle up and down. And let's not waste time. We can always look up here too. Great. I'd like to spend some more time addressing the central pump in the body now. Okay. You can remain standing for this. I'm just going to move closer so I can see the screen better. Okay. What I want to talk about is the deep exhale. Okay, and getting a firmness in the belly and an upward movement of the belly as we exhale. Okay, and we're going to try to make that 1-to-1 ratio like we did with the lymph moving here very slowly in and out, in and out. Okay, we're going to try to do the same thing with the diaphragm. Okay, the diaphragm is like a sheath that cuts the body in half, but there are holes in it that allow the blood vessels and lymph to pass through from the lower half of the body to the upper half. Okay, so when we breathe down, that hole comes down. As we breathe in, it grabs and moves up. Right. So as we exhale, it brings the venous return and the lymph upwards. And as we breathe in, it drops the circulation down through the body. Okay. So what we want to do is try to accentuate that pumping movement. So as we breathe down, we want to get a nice low breath. As we breathe out, we want to grab everything and squeeze really firmly on the exhale. Trying, just like we did with the isometric contraction, we really want to squeeze the abs and drive the air out, okay? By driving the air out, we'll get that pumping movement for the lymph up the body, okay? So let's work with this easy visualization as we drive the air up through the body. Lifting aggressively through the stomach. In and up, in and up. Good, let's give the arms a rest. So rotating and coordinating the shoulders. Continuing to just drive that pump through the body, understanding that that breath work, that intense effort to make that big exhale is the exercise and is giving you the health benefits that you want. Like breathing in, invest the effort, get the air out of the body, drive it out. These extremely deep inhales, when you feel the rib cage come in and you really feel like you're crushing yourself, this is also really important to get to the bottom lobes of the lung, which has been the biggest problem with the virus COVID-19 going around. That as people get sick, the fluid collects at the base of the lungs and they start to develop pneumonia. And then we get the cascade of downward spiral from there. And so just like if you have cystic fibrosis, that's a horrible condition that you're born with, where your lungs are constantly filling with mucus. And they require several hours of chest physical therapy every day. And that looks a lot like what we've been doing. Basically, the therapist comes and bangs on their lungs in different positions so that all that gunk can drain towards the bronchial tubes. And then those folks need to spend a long time then hacking up all this fluid. Okay, so we can try to stay a little bit healthier for ourselves, without this condition, by emptying the lower lobes of the lungs. Okay, by getting the pumping in the lower lobes of the lungs, we're really doing the best we can for our lungs. Okay, so really try to drive the air out as far as you can. Chris, you also notice that it takes in a really large effort to get that deep, deep exhale. And that's going to also improve the stability of our core so that our spine stays more stable throughout the day. That's also what a lot of the hype is about general physical therapy, about doing core strength, doing planks, doing Pilates, and strengthening, adding strong abs to protect my back. This is really the only ab exercise that you need, because this is the perfect way to coordinate all the abs in one and just get an aggressive effort. I don't train my abs any other way than deep exhales, because I find that really is the best and works and is also the most accessible. You can do it anywhere on the subway. It doesn't have to be loud. You're just breathing. Okay, everybody, if you breathe aggressively like me, you probably have enough for today. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with just the final words of please subscribe to our channel so I can finally broadcast remotely. Okay, and share with friends. We'll be back tomorrow with some more body tuning program. I'm really trying to convince Dr. Katz to get on one of these sessions, but maybe we need to plan a bit ahead. Okay, so stay tuned, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye now.
Oops. All right. Let's go to Yoga Nidra.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Steiner,
Whoops.
and today I'm going to show you how to do self-lymphatic drainage.
Whoops.
What you want to know about the lymphatic system is that all the lymphatic vessels follow our vascular
I'm
system,
gonna have to.
and many of these vessels are really, really close to the surface. What's interesting is that the left side of our body, our legs, our core, our left arm, all drains into
there.
the left
Oh, thank goodness.
side.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, that's the end of that. Okay. Now all I have to do is go back here. Okay. All right. Okay, everybody, go ahead and find yourself a very comfortable, safe, relaxed position and bring your attention to your breath. It may feel very different from some of the breath work that Daniel did. You did with Daniel. We did with Daniel. And bring your attention and your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, right knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of the pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes our 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and extend your legs and start to wiggle and stretch, arms overhead, stretching the arms in one direction, the legs in the other, one side of the body, the other side of the body, wiggle and stretch, wiggle and stretch. And then go ahead and make circles with your wrists and your ankles. And the other direction, please. And then just wiggle your fingers and your toes. Hug your right knee to your chest. Hug, hug, hug. Left knee. Hug, hug, hug. Go ahead and hug both knees and rock the knees from side to side and release the lower back. And one side and then the other. And then at some point, you'll want to roll all the way over, using your bottom arm as a pillow. Thank your body for bringing you here. Thank your mind, your body, your spirit for bringing you here to this practice, this self-care practice. Bring yourself up to seated. I'm going to turn the spotlight off. I'm going to change my gallery, my view to gallery, so I get to see everybody. And you have to do that yourself. I can't do that for you. We're going to just start with finding a comfortable floor seated position with your palms together, and press your palms together and see if you can find your shoulder work. Chest and shoulder, this is chest and shoulder work if you're pressing strongly. And then soften that up, just a prayer pose. And lift your occipital ridge, the skull, base of the skull up away from your shoulders so you can nod forward. Just keep nodding and bowing. And knowing and noticing that each of us is a light. And then also knowing that we're all one light. And we'll close the class by saying to each other, as we bow to each other, namaste.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.